If I was gay, I would think hip-hop hates me. Have you read the YouTube comments lately? Man, that's gay, gets dropped on the daily. We become so numb to what we're saying. A culture founded from oppression, yet we don't have acceptance for 'em. Call each other faggots behind the keys of a message board. A word rooted in hate, yet our genre still ignores it. Gay is synonymous with the lesser. It's the same hate that's caused wars from religion, gender to skin color, the complexion of your pigment. The same fight that led people to walkouts and sit-ins. It's human rights for everybody, there is no difference. Live on and be yourself. When I was at church, they taught me something else. If you preach hate at the service, those words aren't anointed. That holy water that you soak in has been poisoned. When everyone else is more comfortable remaining voiceless rather than fighting for humans that have had their rights stolen. I might not be the same, but that's not important. No freedom till we're equal, right? I support it.
I belonged to a small Methodist church, and I was really excited to be part of this church because it was really one of the neatest places I'd gone. But I found a home at this church and with the youth group. And I started dating one of the girls in my youth group who was now a senior in high school. So I was like a sophomore in college, she was a senior in high school. And, you know, you write about things. So I have a journal, and I journal about things. And one night I was at church, and my journal fell out of my car. And my youth minister's wife found it. So I got a call from my youth minister later, and he's like, hey, I got your journal. I'm putting it in my mailbox. You can come by and get it. So I was going to go pick it up, but I was over at my girlfriend's house. And we were in her room hanging out. And next thing I know, her father bursts into the room and looks daggers at me and is like, you need to leave now. And I was like, okay, I'm leaving. But I didn't know what was going on. I knew something bad was happening, but I didn't know what was happening at all. So I drove back over to the church, and I got my journal out of the mailbox. So I went to the Waffle House, and sure enough, a couple of my other church friends were hanging out there. I was so scared. Like, I knew something really, really bad was happening, and I didn't know what. All I knew is that, like, I thought I was going to throw up. I was so scared. And the next day I found out what had happened is that my youth minister's wife had read my journal, which had talked all about this girl, and had then called her father, and they were freaking out. I mean, she was 17, I was 19, but as it was, if I had been a boy, I was the darling of the youth group. Everybody thought I was great. You know, I was the golden child. But so if I'd been a boy, it would have been not a problem. But I wasn't a boy, I was a girl. I did end up going to have a conversation with her parents. But like, her family told me if she turned out to be gay, it was going to be all my fault. And that I was like a cocaine addict. I was like a really nice person with a really terrible problem. Later that day, I went to my youth minister's house. I was angry she had done this to me, and I went to his house, and she wouldn't answer the door. And my youth minister drove up while I was there. He came, and next thing I know, his wife's coming out of the house and is screaming at me. And I actually didn't remember this until literally years later. But apparently, she had stood there and screamed and told me that I was a child molester. And, that hurt me so bad, I didn't even remember it till I was, 30 years old. So anyway, but I did try to go back to church, when Christmas time rolled around, and, no one would meet my eye. So we had a new youth minister, and he was the only person who would look me in the eye in that whole church. And I never went back. After that. And it took me a really long time to learn that I actually didn't do anything wrong. I know that sounds really, really stupid, but I let them make me believe that I had done something terribly wrong. I had screwed this girl up forever and ever and ever. It was terrible. And after that, I left church. I didn't go back to church. And I don't know if part of that, was just the way, part of it was, having had that experience. And then part of me was I guess I don't have a place here anymore, and just feeling ashamed and, so I kind of felt like I must be some sort of dangerous predator. I didn't go back regularly for about 10 years. I would try to go back. I visited a few churches here and there, like when I was in college and this, that, and the other. Life is good, but I guess that's my story.